Alright, so, hey guys. Today, I want to talk about some seriously weird shit that's going on in our society today. And that is being shoveled down our throats to be made, we're us normal people are being made to believe that this is okay, that this is normal, this is needs to be accepted, this needs to be embraced. And what I'm going to talk about today is transgender children. And when I say children, for the rest of the video, please know and understand. When I say transgender children, I am referring to kids 10 and under. From the ages of 3 to 10. Okay, so now that we've established an age line, I'm going to say, first off, that's absolutely crazy. I am not going to embrace it. I am not going to recognize it. I am not going to be any part of it. If I see a little boy, I am calling him. Unless I don't know any different, if I don't know any different, then I don't know any different. But if you have a little boy that's in a goddamn dress, it's still a little boy, okay? Let me tell you something about my children, okay? My two sons are 17 and 18. My daughters are 25 and 30. And, of course, my girls were always, common sense if you can do math, were always way older than the boys. Now, when the boys were really little, like 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, they absolutely loved spending time with their sisters and playing dress up, getting their nails done, getting their hair done, and the entire whole nine. Today, and I'm going to say that the girls would do their hair in pigtails, ponytails, curl and iron, hairballs, barrettes, the whole nine. That's what they did to the boys. I didn't care. I thought it was great that they were bonding, spending time together. My sons would sit around singing "They Are Every Woman." I mean, they were kids. They didn't know. Today, at 17 and 18, they are both healthy, well-adjusted, male children. They are both males. They understand they are males. They understand they're gender boys. And they don't have a problem with it. So, at what point do you look at your 3-year-old and go, I don't care if you play with a baby doll. My sons played with baby dolls. And I used to have people tell me all the time, oh, don't let them boys play with baby dolls. They're going to turn out to be gay. Well, okay. But that's as stupid as saying, don't let your husband play with your newborn because he might end up gay. You know, it's just not. Just because a person plays with something does not determine what gender they're going to be or claim when they get older, okay? Nobody gives a shit if your son carries around a baby doll, because when he's married, he's going to carry around his baby. So, there's nothing wrong with that. My girls played with Tonka trucks and Hot Wheels, and my daughter grew up to be a bus driver. And she's married and has a son. So, I mean, again, just because your child plays with something, or just because a 3-year-old likes a dress, because a 3-year-old does not understand that boys pants, girls dress, he may look at the dress and go, oh, yes, I like that. Okay. That doesn't mean start dressing him like a little girl, because nobody said he identified with a girl. First off, I don't get, as an adult, how someone can identify as the other sex. I mean, I can honestly tell you that I've never sat down and clipped a nut, or I've never zipped my pants up and caught my penis in my pants. And I'm absolutely, without a doubt, sure that there's not a transgender guy out there who can tell me what it feels like to have tender breast during your period. There's not a transgender guy out there who can tell me what it's like to have cramps during my period. There's not a transgender guy out there who can tell me anything about my period. There is not a transgender guy that has a story about starting your period unexpectedly and being embarrassed because it leaked through your clothes. Now, if he's telling you this, well, he shit himself. Because there ain't a transgender guy out there having a period. Sorry. Now, there ain't a transgender guy out there that can identify. You can't identify. There's no freaking way. I cannot identify with a guy getting his prostate checked to make sure he doesn't have prostate cancer. So there's no way in the world a 3-year-old can identify as a boy. A 3-year-old hasn't even learned to identify as a girl. They have not learned to identify as a human being, let alone a boy or a girl. And again, because a little boy looks at a dress and goes, yes, I like that, does not a transgender make. I think this bullshit, first of all, stop exposing your children to this bullshit. I'm so glad, so glad that I don't have small children. The smallest child that I have right now is about to be 12. And that's my grandson. He stays with me now. And I just wouldn't expose him to half of this crap. That, these people are watching. Like the gay BCs. God, no. He'll never be exposed to that. He'll never be a part of that. These drag queens and freak kings out here reading stories and dressed like weirdos to these little kids. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, I wouldn't expose him to that shit. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't expose my puppy to that crap, let alone a child. I think sexuality, first off, why are we letting children determine gender who are not old enough to have sex? Or even contemplate sex. And I know some liberal tards out there, what does that have to do with anything? Well, that has a lot to do with it. Because if you are a little girl, you're going to grow up to want to have sex with little boys or boys. But that is not a possibility if the little boy likes a dress and mommy goes, oh, he likes a dress. I think that mommy took him over to the girls section, the girls clothing section, hoping he would pick out something because he didn't know any better, because mommy had a little boy when mommy actually wanted a little girl. And I saw a commercial the other day. It was a shampoo commercial. And this little transgender boy, first off, let me just say, you don't have warm and fuzzy moments in front of a camera studio. So any commercial you see where they're trying to portray a warm and fuzzy moment is bullshit. Okay? Everything is scripted, and sadly scripted. But no child is going to sit there. And this child, I want to say again, remember my time, my age line, sorry, or age group. When I say I'm talking about children, there between the ages of 3 and 10. This child on this commercial, I want to say was 6 or 7, and this child was just so excited, you know, because this little boy grew his hair out, and supposedly he's sitting there in front of all these cameras having a warm and fuzzy moment about being a transgender girl with his lesbian moms. Now, of course the kid's confused. He has 2 moms. And he's trying to, at 6 years old, identify as he don't even know. He's trying to identify with the 2 moms. Of course, he thinks he's a girl. And so they got all excited, and when one woman's sitting there, oh, as I saw her, which is really him, brushing his long hair, I saw him for the first time. And I'm sitting here thinking, really? So you came about having this child, I'm sure not the old-fashioned way, because 2 moms ain't making a baby. But you came about having this child somehow, and you and your lesbian partner are all excited because your little son now is your little daughter, and you just now saw him for the first time when he came out as a girl. And so the commercial goes on to have this little 7-year-old boy with his long hair and his girl clothes on, sitting there going, well, I was just so happy when my hair grew out because now my outsides match my insides. Okay, whoever scripted that for that child to sit there and talk about their outsides matching their insides. Okay, first off, I'm sure this little boy has not undergone any transgender surgery. So with that said, I just want to say that no, baby, your outsides do not match. Okay? Because you've got long hair like a girl, you're wearing clothes like a girl, and between your legs you have a penis. Okay? So with that being said, of course we all know this is scripted because, again, nobody comes to a production studio to have a warm and fuzzy moment. So we all know that these moments are scripted and the bullshit therein. But I felt really bad that this is what they are depicting as a normal family just to sell shampoo. You know, they want to, and I don't want to call the name of the shampoo because I don't remember it right off. But, and I'll cut the comments off on this video as I have the other ones because my shadow followers, I really don't give a damn about their opinion of my opinion. They're free to go make their own platform and do whatever. I'm sure I'll never visit it, so I won't know what they're saying and don't care. But anyway, you don't go to a shoot studio to have a warm and fuzzy moment that's staged. So who knows? I mean, in all life, in all reality, the person, the little actor dressed like a little girl could have actually been a little girl. But the moral of the commercial was two gay women raising a transgender child about the age of 6 or 7. Okay? And so the whole moral was that they were trying to say that I'm so glad I have so much girly hair to wash and that my outsides match my insides. And it's like, this is the lesson they're trying to portray to the younger children who are watching these commercials and doing whatever. And it's like, you know, to me that doesn't even make sense that you've got to go through all that just to you have to have a life moral story to sell shampoo, because you couldn't just show one lady, which could have been one mom, washing a child's hair and pow, they liked the way it smelled and there was no more tears and here's your, you know, there's your commercial. No, you literally have to go into a whole family identification unit of here's two moms, here's a transgender kid, my outsides match my insides, all that to sell shampoo to a flipping child. And I just want to know, and maybe it's just this huge ass thing that I am unaware of, because again, I don't expose myself and my family to these things. So maybe the transgender world is a bigger thing than I'm aware of, because I just I don't get how we're making commercials to identify with transgender people when, first off, I thought they wanted to live in secrecy. I mean, why would you want to go around announcing I was born a boy? Why not just trans into a boy or a girl and leave it at that? The only other person in life that would ever need to know that you used to be a guy or you used to be a girl would be the person that you are dating or considering as a life partner. Then they might need to know the truth about, you know, you. But other than that, it doesn't need to be. I mean, now if it's one thing if it's obvious, okay? If you look like Paul Bunyan, and again, now I'm talking about adults. If you look like Paul Bunyan in a fucking dress, don't come in the girls' bathroom, because I am going to shame the shit out of you. But anyway, children should not be drug into this battle. I mean, they just shouldn't. Children should be allowed to be children. And their sexuality should have nothing to do with their very young and innocent childhood. It shouldn't have. I mean, like I said, my young boys, when they were young, played dress up with their sisters, and I thought it was great. I thought it was great that they were bonding, spending time together. They loved their sisters loved them, and it is what it is. And I don't understand. To me, there should be child abuse, child endangerment, because you are pre-programming a little toddler to believe a lie. You are teaching a child, an innocent child, you are scripting into that child, you are programming lies and bullshit into an innocent child that just doesn't deserve it. You know, and like I said, my boys played with dolls. My girls put my sons in a dress one time. They thought it was cute. I didn't think anything of it because I knew it wouldn't have any imprint on their life, because I think when that happened, I want to say my girls at the time, one was probably 12 and the other one was 8 or 9 herself, and the boys were 3 and 4, 2 and 3, somewhere around there. I mean, everybody was really young. Everybody. The girls were young, the boys were young. Yeah, I'm getting old, so I don't remember. I just remember what happened, but I couldn't tell you who was how old back then because I'm damn near 50. So I have good days and bad days. Some days I remember my name, and some days I ain't telling you. But anyway, you know, I just don't get, I mean, why? Why such the need to bring these children to this level of awareness at such a young age, at such a fragile age, at such, why can't these babies be babies? Why can't these children be innocent? Why can't these kids, God, just be kids? You know, just because you wanted a girl, but you birthed a boy, you're gonna make this child suffer for the rest of their life. Wow. You know, I mean, how selfish, how hateful, how dehumanizing of you. Because now this child isn't even your child. This child is your object. This child is your doll. This child is your toy. And you are literally playing with the life and emotions of a human being. Well, little Johnny ran up and told me I was a boy. Little Johnny ran up and told you he was a girl. Little Johnny's 3. No, son, you're a boy. Little boy. You're a boy. That's just like little Johnny can run up to you and tell you he's a firefighter. You know, I mean, doesn't make it so. Little Johnny can run up to you and tell you he's the King of England. Doesn't make it so. You know, my children used to run up to me and, I'm a firefighter. I'd look at them, you will be someday. You will be, son. Someday you will be a firefighter. Stay in school, learn to read, do great things, and you can be. I never told them they weren't. I just reinforced they could be. Now, I guess if little Johnny runs up to you and says, I'm a girl, you could honestly look at him and say, not yet, son, but someday you will be. In today's society, I guess, you know, where does the bullshit end and reality begin, though? Because if Susie can identify as Johnny, then how come Sir Pedophile can't wake up and identify as a wee-year-old? I woke up this morning, I identify as a wee-year-old. You want to go play Naked Swim? I mean, seriously. You know, I'm sure a bunch of people are looking at me like I'm wrong right now, but that's the truth, you know? If little 2-3-year-old Johnny can wake up and identify as little Susie, and you all accept that, then how come pedophile Bill can't wake up identifying as you little Billy? And he wants to go play with little Susie. They want to go play in the tub. They want to go play submarines. That's all I'm saying. And I'm just keeping it real, because in y'all's fantasy world, it's okay to bullshit and bullshit. You know, it's not okay for a pedophile to identify as a 3-year-old and go molest little Susie. But it's okay for that same pedophile to identify as a female and come into the bathroom with little Susie. But as soon as little Susie gets raped and molested, you know, because this is the bullshit that people expect you to embrace and go forward with. And, you know, they want to tell you it's okay to accept one but not the other, but that's not true. I mean, you can't have a soda without the carbonation. If you have a soda and it's not carbonated, it's not a soda. Okay? So you either have to accept the whole picture or none. I mean, you can't just accept what's convenient for you and then deny the rest because it's not. You know, and I'm sorry that you gave birth to a little boy and you actually wanted a little girl. It happens all the time. Does not give you the right to fuck with a human being's life for the rest of their life. Doesn't give you the right to take a small child and brainwash them into thinking that they are one thing when they are another. Doesn't give you the right to ruin a human being. And basically, when you lie to a child about what gender they are and that drag queens are okay, and, you know, when you sit around telling children that that crap is okay and that they should embrace it and they should accept it, wow, man, wow. You know, first off, I don't know why we're even having discussions like that with or around our children. Again, 3 to 10. But okay, you know, again, like I said, the youngest kid I have in my house is 11, about to be 12. And I would never expose him to a fucking drag queen reading bullshit at the public library. It's not gonna happen. Just because I wouldn't fuck with his psyche like that. I mean, it just wouldn't happen. But, you know, that's where that goes, and that's my thought for the day, and I'm wrapping up my 30-minute walk, so I'm going to say today is believe it is Wednesday. So, happy Wednesday, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.